Have you ever bragged about how little sleep you got?
Oh yeah, I'm running on 5 hours and 2 cups of coffee, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I used to be that guy. But here's the thing, a lack of sleep isn't actually the flex you think it is. It's actually one of the fastest ways to age your body, wreck your mood, and tank your overall health. So today, we're gonna dive into what sleep actually does for your body, what happens when you don't get enough of it, and what can you do to start sleeping better tonight. Oh, and stick around because I'm gonna share something with you that I've been using to help me fall asleep faster without waking up groggier. Okay, so real talk, I'm actually making this video to help convince myself. Because here's the thing, my sleep quality, pretty good. My sleep quantity, not so much. I'm the kind of person that's always got something I could be working on, more books to read, another show I could watch, catching up on editing videos, responding to comments, you name it. And I told myself for years that sleeping less meant I could be more productive, and that was a good thing. But every time I've done research over the years, it actually leads me to the same conclusion that sleep might actually be the real productivity hack. So let's unpack what's really going on while we sleep. Sleep isn't just you being unconscious for a few hours, it's actually like your nightly repair shop. When you drift off, your brain goes into cleanup mode. It literally flushes out waste products that build up during the day. One of them is actually called beta amyloid, and it's the same protein that's linked to Alzheimer's. So think of it this way, when you skip sleep, it's like your brain missing the opportunity to take out the trash. Your immune system is also clocking in overnight. During sleep, your body releases cytokines, which are like these tiny proteins that help fight inflammation and infection. Which is why it's not uncommon for you to get the sniffles when you've had a few late nights. Sleep also plays like a ginormous role in balancing your hormones. It helps regulate cortisol, which is your stress hormone, insulin, which is your blood sugar regulator, and leptin and ghrelin, which are the hormones that let you know whether you're full or hungry. So if you sleep less, suddenly your body thinks you're starving all the time. Which is why late night snacking is basically baked into sleep deprivation. So it's not just about feeling tired. Poor sleep affects your metabolism, cravings, and your immunity literally overnight. And if you work out or lift weights, here's a bonus. Deep sleep is actually when your body releases the growth hormones. So that's when your body is going to rebuild muscle and repair tissue. That's right, you can spend all day training at the gym, but your body is only gonna cash in on those gains while you're sleeping. Basically everything from your mood to your metabolism depends on those deep sleep cycles. And REM sleep, that's your dream cycle, is when your brain files memories and helps you process emotions. It's kind of like having free therapy every night. Some little fun facts that I got from the interweb. NASA actually studied sleep for astronauts and found that even small naps improve cognitive performance by up to 34%. And shift workers who average less than 6 hours sleep a night are at risk for heart disease and obesity. So now let's get really specific about what happens when your body doesn't get enough sleep. And this is the information that I have learned that has me seriously rethinking my late night habits. So when your body doesn't get enough sleep, it basically says,
Cool, we'll just start shutting down non-essentials. Mood, memory, metabolism, who needs them, right?
Problem is the non-essentials are literally everything that makes you feel human. Even one night short of proper sleep can spike your cortisol levels, which makes your body think that you are in danger. It can crank up the ghrelin, which is the feed me hormone. It can dial down the leptin, which is the I'm full one, which, like we've already said, can lead to late night cravings and eatings when you don't actually need that food. It can mess with your insulin sensitivity. This is why, according to research, chronic poor sleepers have way higher risk of prediabetes and weight gain, even if their diet is solid. And it's not just the body, it's the brain as well. According to research, one single night of 5 hours of sleep slows your reaction time as much as a blood alcohol level of 0.08. That's like driving tipsy. Here's some more not fun facts. Heart health. People who sleep under 6 hours a night have up to 48% higher risk of developing heart disease. Immunity. After just 1 week of 5-hour nights, your natural killer cell activity, that's your body's frontline cancer defense, drops by around 70%. Memory and focus, your brain's hippocampus, the bit that forms new memories, goes half offline, which is why you can remember every line from The Office, but not necessarily where you put your keys. It also messes up your emotional regulation. So sleep-deprived brains light up the amygdala, which is your fear center, about 60% more than normal, which is why everything feels more dramatic when you're exhausted, which I can attest to both for myself and my teenagers.
I'm not tired, you're tired.
A lot of people think that your body just needs to adapt to less sleep. That's a very toxic thought. All that really is going to happen is you're just going to get used to feeling worse over time. So when we skip sleep thinking that we're trading it for more productivity and more hours, what we're actually trading it for is energy, focus, and years off of our life. Here's some more not fun facts. If you lose 1 hour of sleep, you actually lose 20 to 30% of your ability to learn new information the next day. Another note about shift work is that shift work schedules have now been labeled as a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization. That's how rough chronic sleep loss can be. So I know what you're asking, how much sleep do I actually need? If you're the kind of person like me who says,
I only need 5 hours sleep, I'm built different.
spoiler alert, you're probably not. For the average adult, the sweet spot is 7 to 9 hours. Not 12, not 5, 7 to 9. Teens, they need a little bit more. It's more like 8 to 10 hours because their brains are basically under construction 24/7 and their bodies are still growing. That's when they grow. We talked about that earlier in the video. And when it comes to little kids, they're like professional sleepers, like Olympic level sleepers. They can't possibly get enough. Give them as much as humanly possible. So older adults, like 65 and up, you can actually probably get by healthily with 7 to 8 hours. It's not uncommon for people of that age range for their sleep to be a bit more fragmented. You might find it harder to sleep all of that amount in one stretch. That's okay, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And here's where it gets interesting because the amount of sleep matters, but the quality of sleep matters just as much. As you can imagine, if you're spending those 8 hours tossing and turning, it's not as healthy as getting an hour or two less, but in a deep sleep. That deep, slow wave and REM sleep, that's where all the magic happens. That's where your brain files memories, repairs cells, and generally just hits save progress on your body's health. Now, when it comes to those of you who like to brag about getting by on less, here's some information. Studies show that only 0.5% of humans have a rare gene mutation that lets them function normally on 5 or 6 hours. Everyone else, we're just functioning worse and calling it normal. So if you're like me and you tend to run on less than 7 hours of sleep a night, you're not a superhero. You're just a tired human with good coping mechanisms. Let's work on that. I'm trying to retrain my brain not to think of it as losing time when I sleep for my productivity. I'm trying to think that when I gain an extra hour of sleep, I'm also gaining things like sharper thinking, better mood, and just overall better energy for the next day. And when you shortchange your sleep, you're basically taking out a health loan on your body at 400% interest. I know what some of you are asking, is there a difference between genetically male and female bodies when it comes to sleep? Well, actually, according to the research I've done, there is. It says that women generally actually do need a little bit more sleep. And it's not because they're weaker, but it's actually because women's brains tend to do more multitasking during the day. So they take up more energy, which means they're more tired.
Code red, we have a major schedule conflict. All workers to emotional processing immediately.
More brain use equals more nightly recovery. So women needing more sleep isn't a cliche, it's neuroscience. Because they're smarter and stuff. For the guys listening, you always knew this, and we pretended it wasn't true. Now, the research shows that life stage matters too, so things like pregnancy, perimenopause, menopause itself can all disrupt sleep due to hormonal changes, which is even more reason that it's important for us to create sleep habits, which we're going to talk about in a second. Here are some big takeaways for this. Don't think about sleep as optional. Think about it like nutrition for your brain. You wouldn't skip meals every day and expect to feel great long term. Sleep is your body's way of digesting the day, physically, mentally, and emotionally. For those who say, I can't sleep in, my body wakes up on a clock every day, that's actually a good thing. But one quote that I love that I've read recently from Courtney Carver's book, Gentle, is that the only way for adults to sleep in is to go to bed early. And I find that's very true for me. So go to bed earlier tonight. Your future self and your mitochondria will thank you. A few more quick fun facts. The CDC actually lists sleep deprivation as a public health epidemic, like smoking and obesity level serious. After only 2 weeks of sleeping 6 hours a night, your brain performs as if you've been awake for 48 hours straight. People who regularly sleep 7 to 8 hours have the lowest mortality risk across all studies. So why is it that we can't sleep more? We've all said, I really should go to bed earlier. Cut to me at midnight watching artisanal whole food plant-based videos on how to make butter. My brain, wide awake. My body, betrayed. The truth is, most of us aren't actually bad at sleeping. We're just really good at keeping ourselves awake. Well, let's break that down. We've probably heard this numerous times before. I know I have, but modern life is kind of wired against us. The blue light that comes from our laptop and our phones create this thing called melatonin. It's a natural, it's time to sleep hormone that our body releases when it gets dark outside. Even just a few minutes of scrolling can trick your brain and body into thinking it's still daytime and that you don't need to go to sleep. Add to that 24-hour work culture, late night emails, and just that general dopamine hit we get from being on our phones, on social media, far more than we probably should be. I read something recently that stress is essentially the invisible caffeine. Even if you want to sleep at night, you're probably lying down in bed and maybe your brain is running this highlight reel of all the tasks you didn't get done, all the things you said that you should have said differently. That's cortisol talking, that's your stress hormone. Cortisol is supposed to naturally drop at night, and if it's not doing that, it means there's other things going on that's keeping your body from functioning normally. The other thing that we generally have against us is our own sleeping environment. Noise, light pollution, temperature, these can all affect the way we sleep. Apparently, the ideal room temperature, 18 degrees Celsius or 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So give that a try if you haven't done so yet by changing the temperature of your room at night. Scientifically speaking, that temperature is known as cool enough to need covers, not so warm you need a parka. Another big problem is that if your bedroom doubles as like your office or a place that you scroll or watch TV, your brain is not necessarily associating it with sleep. So when you hop into bed, your brain might be thinking, oh, time to scroll social media or the internet, not time to sleep. I'm gonna list a few hidden health culprits right here, and if you think you suffer from any of these, you should go talk to your doctor as soon as possible. First of which is something that a lot of us probably are aware of, sleep apnea, which is that thing where you can stop breathing in the middle of the night and then you jolt awake. You should look into that. Restless leg syndrome, it's just like, gotta move my legs shakiness that happens right before you go to bed. Or right as you're nodding off, I guess. I've never had it myself, I've read about it and heard about it. Hormonal shifts, so menopause, thyroid issues, even low magnesium can wreck sleep quality. And then just generally medications, so like antidepressants, steroids, decongestants, they can act like built-in espresso shots. So if you think you're on a medication that is harming your sleep, talk to your doctor. The other thing you might want to consider is going to a sleep specialist or doing a sleep study. Sometimes those things are worth their weight in gold. The biggest problem is just that we have trained our brains to chase stimulation. Think about it. All day long, your brain gets rewarded for more. More emails, more news, more scrolling. Then at night, we suddenly expect it to go from like being a Formula One racer to lying on the beach with no cool down period. Your brain needs a wind down routine, whatever that is for you, to realize that the day is over. So if you can't sleep at night, it doesn't mean you're broken. It just means that it's doing what you've trained it to do. Stay alert. So now you got to retrain it. Just want to take a quick pause here before we go any further to talk about something that I've actually been doing to practice what I preach. I've started using this drink mix called Complement Restore. It's a melatonin-free nighttime drink mix that's designed to help you fall asleep naturally and support your overall recovery. And before you roll your eyes, I was a little skeptical when I got sent this product as well. I don't like anything that knocks me out and makes me feel foggy in the morning, which is why I like this, because it don't do that. Here's some reasons why I like this product in particular. It's built around magnesium, which helps calm your muscles and your nervous system. It's got L-theanine, which is that same amino acid that's in green tea that makes your body feel relaxed without getting like the caffeine jitters. It has adaptogens like chaga and reishi mushrooms that actually help your body handle stress. Basically, they take the edge off that cortisol we've been talking about to help you wind down. It's also got ashwagandha root in there for hormone balance and turmeric for anti-inflation, which is huge for anyone trying to recover from workouts or, just life in general. No melatonin, no weird and crash, just ingredients that actually help and support you and your sleep habits. I mix 1 scoop of this into some warm water about a half an hour I go to bed. It tastes like an earthy turmeric latte. And I swear I've been waking up in the morning feeling calmer and more focused. And if you want to give it a shot, the fine people at Complement are giving our community a discount code of 15% off that you can get either on the URL on the screen right here, or you can look in the description down below to get a link to getting you that Complement product or any of the other great Complement products that my family uses on a daily basis. So if you've been struggling with sleep or just want your body to recover better from the day ahead, consider Complement Restore. All right, so enough guilt trips about not sleeping. Let's talk about the things we can actually do to fix it. Number 1, keep a consistent bedtime routine, even on weekends. Yeah, I know, boring advice, but guess what? It works. You've probably heard this before, but your body works on circadian rhythm, which is this 24-hour clock that keeps you in check. Your body loves routine. If you go to bed and wake up the same time every single day, after a week, your body will start to anticipate sleep. You'll fall asleep faster, wake up easier, and stop feeling like a zombie until about noon. And if you want some proof of this, just check out toddlers who skip their nap time. We have the same biology, just a slightly fancier vocabulary. Number 2, build a wind down routine. It's really, really hard to go from doom scrolling to dreamland. What you need to do is create like a 30 to 60 minute runway for your brain to land into sleep. Some things you can do is just dimming the lights. Do some light stretching, some gentle yoga, some deep breathing. Read something relaxing, ideally not the news, especially if you live in the United States. You know what I'm talking about. Take a warm shower. The body temperature drop that happens after that helps tell your body that it's time to sleep. And seriously, I can't say this enough, and this goes for me too, put your phone and your screens away. That blue light, melatonin stuff that comes off, that's real. You don't need to know at midnight that someone on Facebook hates oat milk. That can wait till tomorrow. Number 3, make your bedroom a sleep temple. Keep the temperature nice and cool, like we mentioned, around 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have a problem with light coming in, consider getting blackout curtains or wearing a sleep mask. And make sure the sound environment works for you. If you need a little white noise machine, get that. If you need a fan, I grew up with the sound of the highway beside me, so I like a little bit of noise when I sleep. And when it comes to your bed, no work, no TV, no laptops. You keep that space for sleep and, relationship cardio. Time your food, caffeine, and your alcohol. Caffeine has a shelf life inside of your body of like 6 hours. So a 2 p.m. latte can still be working its way through your brain at 8 p.m. Me personally, I try to cut caffeine off by early afternoon. I used to have cups of coffee all the way through the day. Now I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning, green tea at lunch, and that's it. Big meals, keep them to at least 2 to 3 hours before bed, and then try to just cut off eating altogether so your body actually has time to digest. If you absolutely need some kind of a snack before you go to bed, keep it simple, keep it clean. Something like a banana, a little bit of oatmeal, a handful of walnuts. Now, while alcohol feels like a sedative, it actually fragments your sleep cycles. You might fall asleep fast, but you're gonna wake up feeling groggy and dehydrated. So consider switching the nightcap for some herbal tea or that complement restore beverage I mentioned earlier on in the video. Number 5, train your brain to relax. If your thoughts are racing at night, consider box breathing. That's where you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds, and you hold with no air for 4 seconds, and you just repeat that. Do a quick gratitude rundown. Think of 3 things that happened that day that you're grateful for. Things like this can shift your brain from being stressed to like safe and calm, which is exactly what your body needs at this time of the day. Now, what happens for those of you that wake up at 3 a.m. and can't get back to sleep? Don't sit there spiraling, willing yourself to go back to bed. I don't know about you, that never works for me. Get up, go to another dimly lit room and read something boring, and then return to bed when you're sleepy again. The problem is if you just lie there, letting yourself not sleep, your brain starts associating your bed with panic. You don't want that to happen. You want your brain to associate bed with sleep. Panic somewhere else in the house. Number 6, light and movement. Within 30 minutes of waking up, try to get outside and get some sunlight hitting your face. It goes back to that circadian rhythm thing we were talking about. It actually tells your body, hey, it's daytime. It's time to wake up. Let's go. If you've got dogs, you've got no excuse to not go outside and go for a little bit of walk in the morning. Even like 5-10 minutes is all you need. And then during the day, do the same thing. Just get out and walk. I like to take a walk every day at noon, just before I eat, just to give myself a break from sitting or working or whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be a long walk, 5-10 minutes, whatever you can fit in. Regular activity, especially in the morning and midday, can deepen your sleep cycles and reduce your stress hormones. Think of it like earning your pillow. And if all else fails, just keep troubleshooting. Look into those things we might have mentioned earlier, like sleep apnea, thyroid issues. Like I said, a sleep study might be the best money you've ever spent if sleep is something that constantly eludes you. And remember, just like everything else on our healthy journeys, it isn't about being perfect. It's about making one small change and then stacking a new habit on that the next time. Go to bed 5 minutes earlier tonight, then 10 minutes earlier the next night, and just kind of keep increasing the amount of time you go to bed early. So yeah, am I still the guy that thinks I need to stay up late to get more done? Yeah, but I'm constantly working on that, and I'm trying to retrain my brain that going to bed early isn't stealing time from productivity, it's actually fueling it. Good sleep is gonna make you calmer, sharper, happier, and literally younger on a cellular level. If you want longevity, if you want to eat well, move often, and thrive, you honestly cannot skip the sleep step. So do me a favor tonight, change one thing. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. Turn your screens off at half an hour earlier. Drink a nighttime tea or try that complement restore powder. Do that one thing for a week and see how much better you feel next week. And if you wake up feeling amazing, you can thank us tomorrow morning in the comments down below. Let us know also how many hours of sleep you're honestly getting and what you want to do to improve your own sleep. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people. Subscribe for more videos like this if you haven't done so yet. Make sure you are subscribed because a lot of people think they are and they're not necessarily. And if you got a little bit more time, YouTube's got another video right here all lined up for your viewing pleasure. Don't watch it while you're lying in bed trying to sleep.